Hey there. It's another beautiful day and I've got my coffee. So let's watch some stuff.
The Strange Case of Sanju Bhagat. His twin lived inside of him for 36 years. Throughout history, there has been many medical mysteries, but the story of Sanju is one unlike anything else you've ever heard. Sanju was born in India in 1963, and he worked hard as a farmer, working towards a better quality of life. His childhood and teenage years were completely normal, but in his late 20s, he started to notice something strange. Daily, he was working hard in the fields and would eat enough food for survival, but he started noticing his stomach was getting larger. And by the time he was 30, his stomach resembled that of a 9-month pregnant woman. Locals even began teasing him, saying that he looked like a pregnant woman. And on top of that, health complications began to arise. As his stomach became larger, his work became more difficult, causing him severe back pain. Family members urged him to see a doctor, but the high medical bills and him having to miss work was not something Sanju could afford. He carried on and ignored it for as long as he could, until he was rushed to the hospital in 1999. His stomach got so big it began to press on his diaphragm, and doctors believed it was a tumor, and they had to operate. But when Dr. Mehta cut into his stomach, he could not believe what he saw. He said, "To my surprise and horror, I could shake hands with somebody inside." It soon became apparent that this was no tumor. It was a mutated body. From birth, Sanju had his twin brother living inside of him like a parasite. This bizarre and extremely rare condition is called fetus in fetu. The deformed fetus had hair, legs, nails, and even a jawbone with teeth. After his surgery, Sanju was able to recover and live on as normal. As for his twin brother, he died shortly after being removed.
Wow. Could you imagine? Oh my goodness. You have like a huge tumor and then you realize it's your twin living inside of your body and growing and feeding off of you. That's so crazy. Oh my goodness. I remember seeing, I believe it was this story many years ago, and they actually showed a picture of what his twin looked like after it was removed, and it was definitely didn't look like anything that could have survived. It was a mangled mess, and it's terrifying. That's crazy. Oh. Hey, I'm just going to take a second. Thank you so much for joining me for today's coffee talk. If you're having a good time, maybe you'd consider hitting that subscribe button and come back tomorrow because I am making a new video every day.
We're kind of preparing the U.S. population, at least, and by extension, the world population, into that reality that there is a presence here, and that we need to explain this presence. Because if they show up and we continue to do what we did before in previous decades, and they show up, there will be mass panic. But if you understand that these are real, and we have 5 years from 2022, or maybe now 4 years, if they come in 2027, for the U.S. government to prepare the people about what is up there. And in many ways, I think the word got out within the government that they're showing up in 2027, and we better be prepared. And if not, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do. And so I think that dialogue has happened within inside the government, in certain areas inside the government, that we need to prepare. And that's why in 2017, that set a clock of 10 years. And why Lou Elizondo earlier in this year said, just find a hobby for 5 years. And, it'll all be out in 5 years. And he said that this year. So that was 2027. Huh. And I would say I've heard 2027 in a kind of an official capacity that I can't reveal. So I think I would say that people in the government are aware of something happening, and that there's limited time, a few more years to prepare the people. And that's what's ramping up this acceleration from the previous 7 decades of not even acknowledging it to now we are acknowledging it at a faster and faster pace.
Wow, that was so informative, wasn't it? So I actually had done a search for Project Bluebeam, and this came up, and I saw 2027, and I was blown away because originally I was under the impression that we were going to be duped this year, 2024. And now suddenly we have to wait 3 more years for the huge lie. But he's talking about like they have information that the aliens told them somehow that something's going to happen in 2027. And they heard this in 2017. It's just, they're just throwing out arbitrary numbers. Nothing's going to happen. I mean, nothing is going to happen on a set schedule. I mean, if the aliens wanted to come down and do something stupid, they're not going to be like, hey, you got 5 years to get your stuff together, and then we're going to come down and run amok. I don't know. It's dumb. I just going to sit here and wait until I get beamed up, I guess.
This man was killed by the government for what he had discovered. A man by the name of Mark Smith was a pathology professor at Case Western Reserve University, and he was also the director of basic science research at the Memory and Aging Center. And over the course of his career, Mark was honored for the many achievements he had accomplished throughout his career of being a pathology professor, and he was also applauded for his groundbreaking research. Many people respected Mark and looked up to him as a mentor. Mark was also the head researcher into the disease known as Alzheimer's. Mark dedicated his whole life into finding a cure for this destructive disease. And one day Smith discovered a cure that rivaled the treatment of the big companies. After Smith's treatment showed amazing success, many people started to support Smith in his research, but Smith's discoveries posed a huge threat to the big pharmaceutical corporations and the medical establishments who financially benefited from the current treatment for Alzheimer's. And on one fateful day, Mark died under suspicious circumstances. Mark was walking to his home when all of a sudden he was hit by a car. Mark died on the scene, and coincidentally, later that day, the driver that hit Mark was found at his house. Many people theorized that Mark was silenced by the government because his discoveries could have posed a huge threat to the big pharmaceutical corporations. But what do you think? Was Mark's the planned attack?
Well, it is a shame that this beautiful mind is no longer, part of this world. It is awfully interesting how many individuals that make amazing discoveries or, come up with fantastic inventions are suddenly gone, removed from the planet one way or another. It is a terrible coincidence, isn't it?
On the night of March 13th, 1997, something extraordinary occurred in the skies over Phoenix, Arizona. Thousands of people witnessed a series of strange lights, moving silently and mysteriously across the desert sky. These lights appeared in a V formation, slowly gliding overhead, captivating bystanders with their eerie and otherworldly presence. The event, now famously known as the Phoenix Lights, remains one of the most well-documented UFO sightings in history. Despite official explanations attributing the lights to flares or military exercises, many witnesses maintain that what they saw defied conventional explanation. The Phoenix Lights continue to intrigue and baffle both skeptics and believers alike, sparking ongoing debates and investigations into the true nature of what transpired that fateful evening.
That being almost 30 years ago, there wasn't a whole lot of transparency. I mean, there still isn't a whole lot of transparency with the U.S. military and the people. There is a little bit more now than there was at that time. And I still think that the military explanation is 100% valid. They said that there was a formation of some kind of jets. I can't recall exactly what they were, flying over the Phoenix area, over Arizona. And then those lights are a type of flare, and they're dropped in a certain sequence from a vessel, an air vehicle, a plane of some sort. And then they go out in sequence. And my husband actually used to work for the railroad, and he had a lot of night shifts, and they would go through those areas and see them doing their trainings, and they would drop those flares. I have a video now that is actually original footage from that day, and it's really cool, and you can see how they're dropped and then how they go out in sequence. I'll play that for you right now.
There's a third one. Hey, Sue? 'Cause Alright, you tell me what it is. Oh, what do we got? Hey, Sue! Take a look at this.
Oh my God. Oh.
I hit pay dirt. Finally. Submitted for your approval. What have we got here? This is South Mountain. That's the city in front of us. Those lights have appeared.
Well, that is a totally different configuration than we've ever seen before.
Yep. I'm sitting over here saying to myself, I got the camera. Oh, now that one went out to the
That one went off
to the left,
to the east. Yeah.
to the east. The time is about 10 o'clock, Sue.
Yes.
10 o'clock, March 13th, Thursday night.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Look at that. And they all went on in a sequence, too. Now, the thing that puzzles me is they can't be ordinary streetlights. They're going off now, right?
Yeah.
One drop.
Went off.
The thing that's amazing is that it must be so bright that they would carry, because we're looking at about 25 miles away. The middle one now.
There one. Oh,
The two,
another one.
there's another one.
Yep,
last
there
one.
was one.
We have the last one left. Still burning.
And usually we've seen them over.
It's gone.
Oh, there it comes.
See? They drop. And then they go out. I don't know what those flares are for. I'm not sure what branch of the military that is, but if you know, please let us know. It'd be nice to know exactly what those are used for, and yeah, and what they do. I'm sure I could look it up, but I think it would be so much more interesting to get it straight from the horse's mouth. That was cool, huh? I love it. Oh, that looked gross. They're like all cutting him open, like doing an autopsy and everything, and all pulling the tongue out, and there was things under the tongue. Oh, that was cool. That was cool. Do you think it was real? It's possible. That was really cool. I liked it. I love alien stuff. I'm glad we got to look at that today because that was cool. I only looked at the beginning of it when they were messing with the tongue. So the rest of it, that was rad. I like it. That was really cool.
3,000 feet up now, I'd say. Wow, look at that. Nobody's gonna believe us except I got it on film, huh? I keep losing it. There it is.
I can't get it.
There goes a jet right by it. Well, a little higher. There's the jet, and there's the saucer.
Holy crap.
I got a better view of it now.
I know.
Wow.
That's a tough one. I want to say yes, it was totally fake. At the same time, it's totally real. It looks like a toy. It looks like a toy, and here's my rationale. It looks like it's a lot closer than 3,000 feet up because I don't think you can get that clear of an image on a phone or a camera at 3,000 feet. Not that fast, not that good. And it's broad daylight, and it is very stereotypically shaped, which makes me think it's a toy. But at the same time, I mean, what is a stereotype? It's often derived from something that's true, something that is typical of a specific thing, right? So it would be shaped like what we usually see them shaped like. So we usually see them shaped like that. So why wouldn't it be shaped like that and be real, right? I'm talking myself in circles because I don't know how to think about that. That's pretty cool. It's good footage. As far as the little blip at the end, I don't ever question silver orbs. Not since my husband and my son saw that one and the way that they behave about it anytime it's brought up. I don't question it. It's 100% real. It's valid. I'm going to validate that. That's going to be the end of it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Here's my cutting room floor.
3, 2, 1.
It's not cool. Not cool. Try again. But he did the unaliving thing, and that's not cool. No, that's dumb. It's so beautiful outside. It's a beautiful day today. My voice is coming back a little bit better. Happy about that. Still a little nasally, but we're working on it. My eyebrows are too far apart today. We're just going to go with it. And then we have company. Hello, little dogs. Hello, little doggies. Hi, honey. And Pepe Booty. Pepe Booty. Look at that nub. Nub, 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 nub. All right, let's start again. I have lots of dogs bothering me today. I don't know. Are you really going to get that clear of an image on it? These damn dogs. These damn dogs. I can't do it. You guys. I have a bunch of alien stuff that I got set aside, and I thought I had a whole day's worth of, or a whole video's worth of alien stuff set aside, and I must have jumbled them all up. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I had to close the door because the puppy brigade woke up, and they all wanted to come in here and be all clackety clackety on the floor. You can still hear them clackety clackety. All right.